What is going on at YouTube? Bryce Builds It All, your favorite AMP-IA Part 147 instructor, back with another video. I'm really hoping the audio records on this one. I had actually filmed this video for Sunday's upload. I was working on my car and I was talking to the camera, doing a bunch of pieces. I put a lot of effort into it. I thought it was gonna be great. And then I imported it all into my iPad to edit it, and there was no audio. So I'm hoping there's audio on this one, and this video is the top list of tools, the things that I think you should buy when you first go into the industry as an aircraft mechanic, the absolute necessities to put in your toolbox. So again, these videos are aimed at new aircraft mechanics or people that just graduated school or are in school. So if this interests you, stick around. Now, I do not have these tools with me because I'm not at my house, but I will be putting up screenshots of them as I go along. A couple of them are going to be pretty straightforward. So the first thing, and the number one tool that you should have in your toolbox, is an array of flashlights. And what I mean by that is I've got a couple, and in some of my videos I've used my very big, very bright flashlight. And as weird as it sounds, it's almost too bright. When you take an LED flashlight that's very, 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 very bright and you put it down inside of a panel trying to look at something, there's so much reflection off the aluminum inside the aircraft that it can make it very difficult to see what you're looking for. So having an array of flashlights in different brightnesses and sizes is quite beneficial. Also, that large flashlight is not always going to work for you when you're behind a panel, or when you're on your back laying up trying to look at instruments, whatever it may be. So I do have a very large one. I've got a smaller one that's nowhere near as bright, and then I've also got what they call a pin light, which is kind of one of those ones that fit in your pocket next to a pin. And I really like that one for compression tests and whatnot. Yes, I always borescope cylinders after I do a compression test, but with this one I can stick it inside the bottom spark plug hole, and it shines enough light in there that I can see inside the cylinder and kind of get a visual condition of the cylinder walls before I even do the borescope inspection. So that's kind of nice. So first thing is not just a flashlight, but an array of flashlights. If you talk to any aircraft mechanic that's been doing this for any amount of time, they probably have 4 or 5 flashlights in their toolbox. They don't use just one. Which is going to lead me on to the second part of that. Also, people will say a magnifying glass, but the second part of that is an array of mirrors. Again, I say an array of mirrors because you're going to probably have like a little 1-inch mirror, like a dentist mirror. You're probably going to have a 2-inch, a 3-inch, maybe a big square one that extends, one that's on a little flexible shaft, whatever it may be. But you want to have a good set of good, clean mirrors in your toolbox so that when you need to look behind something, or when you need to get a part number off something, or when you just need to inspect something, you have the ability to use that mirror and be able to see it. And again, just like with the flashlights, sometimes you're going to need a smaller mirror, sometimes you'll use a bigger mirror, and it's nice to have an array. Now, starting out, just one nice 2-inch inspection mirror and a nice flashlight will get you out there, it'll get you working. But you're going to want to have a set of them. Like I said, they make some with magnetic attachments, they make some that already have a lighting attachment on them. The list goes on and on and on. Be very careful not to break your mirror, though. That has happened to me. I have broke several mirrors. I've accidentally dropped them on a stud, pulling them out of a cowling, whatever it was. They hit a stud or a nut or something sharp, and they cracked. So be careful not to crack your mirrors. Now, the next couple of tools that I'm going to mention are actually going to be practical use tools that will help you out. And the first thing that you should go out and buy, you can go to Craftsman, you can go to Snap-on, you can really go wherever, but one of the first things that you should probably buy is a nice set of crow's feet. And no, those are not the wrinkles around your eyes. They are a adapter that puts an open-end wrench head on a torque wrench so that you can torque things. You can also put crow's feet on a extension and on a ratchet so that you can take off you can take off nuts that are in a difficult location, or nuts that are quite difficult to get to. So having a good set of crow's feet is going to be very beneficial to you. All the way from a 1/4 inch all the way up to about 1 1/8 inches should do it. That's what I have. But crow's feet, they're going to come in handy a lot in your career, especially with like a little wobble socket. Not necessarily a universal joint. A universal joint is one of those things that you can do this with. A wobble socket just has like a little eccentric break in it so that it wobbles, but it only goes about like 10 or 20 degrees. It doesn't go completely over like a universal joint does. Or sometimes they call it a wobble extension. There's different names for them. Doesn't matter. A good set of crow's feet. Attaching further on with crow's feet is a torque wrench extensions. Now, I don't really know the proper name for these. Everybody kind of calls them different things, so I'll put a picture up. but they're basically just a little 2 or 3 inch extension that, again, just like a crow's foot, has an adapter for a 3/8 or a 1/4 inch drive or even a 1/2 inch drive. It's about 2 inches long, and then it has a box end wrench on the other end. Sometimes they will have an open end wrench like a crow's foot will. But this is, again, so that you can put it on the end of your torque wrench and you can get that extension onto something and torque a nut, something like on a rudder, something like on an aileron, something that's really hard to get to that has a torque that you have to torque, but you can't physically get a wrench on there. Now, I have made one of these in the past. I've taken an open-ended wrench, or a combination wrench, I should say. I've taken a combination wrench and I've put a hex socket in one side, or an Allen socket in one side, so that I could drive it with my torque wrench and torque something. But they do make the little 2 inch to 3 inch adapters. They're about like $30 each, depending on where you get them from. But again, having a good set of those will really help you out when you're trying to get to some of those nuts and bolts that are just really difficult to get to. The last thing I will add to this list is a nice set of ratchets. Really, a couple nice sets of ratchets. Now, what that means is your 1/4 inch ratchet, your 3/8 ratchet, your 1/2 inch ratchet. You can go down to Craftsman, you can go down to Snap-on, and you can buy any old set of ratchets and they will work. However, one of the things you need to look at is the tooth count. Now, what I mean by that is the tooth count is how many teeth are in the actual head of the ratchet. So basically, how far you have to turn it to get it to click. And if you can get a ratchet that's like an 86 tooth or an 84 tooth, I forget the number, then you barely have to move that handle to get it to click. And when you're working on some of these things on an aircraft where you just have very small windows to try to move something, if you have a 64 and 84 tooth ratchet, you'll be able to just barely move your hand back and forth. And yes, it'll take some time, but you can barely move your hand back and forth, and you can sort of slowly but surely get that nut or that bolt out of whatever it is that you're trying to get it out of. That can be very difficult when you just go down to, Harbor Freight and you pick up a cheap 1/4 inch ratchet that's maybe only 48 teeth. Now, I will say when you're using the smaller ratchets, something that has like I said, 64, 84, however many teeth it may be, again, I'll put screenshots up of this, so don't quote me, but when you get those ratchets, you don't necessarily want to break torque with them. By that I mean breaking the nut loose, but once you've gotten the nut loose and you're now trying to run it off the rest of the way, having really good quality ratchets that you can do that easily with is going to be very beneficial to you. And just like everything else on this list, slowly but surely you're going to buy a list of them with varying lengths of handles, with ratchets in the, or not ratchets in them in the end of them, but like the ones that you can move the head, you can telescoping, that's what I should say, telescoping heads, whatever it may be. You're just going to collect more and more tools as you do jobs throughout your career that will make things much easier. But those are my top tools for this list. So that is going to do it all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I do kind of want to make a part 2 to this, which is going to be something more along the lines of tools that I've purchased as an aircraft mechanic, tools that I've bought personally that I thought were going to solve all of my problems. They just delivered on all these promises, and then I used them one time and threw them in a bin after that because they really weren't worth anything. And there's several that I have purchased over the years thinking they would solve my problems or help me do something. And then, like I said, I used it once or twice or realized it wasn't what it was cracked up to be, and I just threw it away. So I'd like to make a list of those. If you want to see that, drop a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. I wish this had been the original version where I was actually working on my car, but no audio recorded. And I hope the audio is recording now so that I don't have to redo all of this again. But if you like the video, make sure you leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe. Don't forget, we do have merch. Got a couple of new designs down on the shelf below the video. As always, go build something and be easy.